Why would I then say that to myself? I will think about every possible mistake, or you won't have your anxiety. Of course not. And believing in yourself, which is much more important than maybe even achieving the goal in itself. Hi my darlings, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while. I feel so weird filming again. I had a little break, which probably nobody noticed, but nevertheless I'm so happy to be back. I took some time off. My sister came and visited me, so I spent time with her, but now I'm back. If you're new here, my name is Petra, and I usually do like fashion, makeup, skincare and different videos. I hope you're gonna like it, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my videos. If you watched me before, thank you so much for coming back. Then you know what my channel is mostly about. But like I said, for today's video I wanted to do something different, something I haven't done before, and that's things that I'm gonna leave in 2021. And I want this video not to be fashion related, so it's not gonna be like fashion pieces and stuff like that, but generally what I've decided to leave in the year behind us, and what I want to change, and the things I just want to work on and maybe don't do again, or things I wanna start doing and stuff like that. So hopefully you're gonna maybe find it inspiring as well, because I don't want my channel just to be about like fashion and styling stuff and makeup, skincare and all of that, which I of course love. That's still gonna be like the main topics of my video, but of my channel. But this subject that I'm gonna talk today is actually very important to me as well, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So maybe that's how you're gonna get to know me a little bit better, and I'm gonna get to know you as well, because I would really love to have your opinion on all these topics and see what do you guys think as well. So without any more blabbing for my side, let's jump straight into the video. And like I said, please do subscribe to my channel. That would really mean a lot to me, and let's get started. It's gonna be probably quite a chatty video, this one. I don't know about you, but it's not that I don't believe like in resolutions and goals and stuff like that. I absolutely do. I think having like goals and writing down especially what are maybe things you want to do in certain period of time, super important. But I never really believed in like, if you just write down, you know, I don't know, buy a house, become a billionaire, do this, do that, I don't know, travel the world, or whatever the case is, just because you wrote it down is just gonna happen by itself. I'm not really sure that's how it works. The most important thing actually is the routines, you know, because even like when you feel low and you're struggling or something is happening, everybody goes back to their routine stuff that give them comfort and they love to do and just makes them feel good. So I think that making routines that are beneficial to you, to your mental health, your physical health, to achieving your goals is super important. And that's actually my like biggest resolution for 2022, and that's working on my discipline, on my routines, and being consistent, because I think that's very important. Not just think about, oh, this is what I want to achieve. I think it's very important to think, okay, what are the things that I should change, what are the habits and routines I want to do and implement more, and action routines that are gonna get me to the things I want to maybe achieve in my life, being theirs. It doesn't matter if they're small or big or whatever. So first thing that's on my what I'm gonna leave in 2021 is guilt and pressuring myself. If you're like me, and if productivity is something that's really important to you, that's how I feel the best. When I know I'm productive, when I'm things like on my to-do list and stuff like that, that's what makes me feel good. You know, I'm not somebody who really loves, even when I have like days off, just for a whole day late anything. I always like try to do something. But there's like another side of that kind of personality, and that's constantly feeling guilty or pressuring yourself if you're not doing everything. And usually you make that very ambitious to-do list, and if you don't check everything, you feel bad if you're not doing it, and because you're feeling bad, you feel that guilt, so you don't want to do that, and you don't feel motivated to continue doing it. That's vicious circle. So I think that's something that's very important, to constantly remind yourself that day is 24 hours, long, that you should be always realistic with making to-do lists, that it's not crime against humanity, or that you're not a failure if you don't check everything completely, and just take it easy and constantly reminding yourself being productive is great, and it's something that it's great to aspire to be, but if it's counterproductive, if you feel bad, if you're not doing something, then just cut it, make more realistic approaches. That's something that I'm definitely gonna work on myself. That's gonna actually really help me is, for example, working out, or if you wanna study or read more, or whatever the case is, but sometimes we set the goal very high, and for example, you count that you worked out or studied or I don't know, whatever, for a certain amount of time. For example, I only count if I work out for 45-60 minutes. But not every day you have that amount of time or motivation, of energy, or so what, So you can make little levels of that certain activity. You can say, okay, this is my biggest level, and that's great if I can achieve that, but also I can do maybe 30 minutes, or I can go for a walk, or I can, I don't know, just do 10 squats, some workout for abs that's 10 minutes long, or whatever the case is, or I can study for this period of time or this period of time, and etc, etc. So you can always kind of manage it and make more options of it. So if you don't have time or energy to do the absolute maximum, which is absolutely normal, and you have to constantly remind yourself that you can't always be on top level for everything, adapt it and constantly remind yourself it's not about how many things you did and are you achieving absolute maximum all the time. It's about constantly doing little, and it's much better to do little portions of it constantly than to push yourself to be on the top of the things all the time, because I don't think that's even physically possible to do that all the time. And I think I'm gonna feel, and I know I feel so much better already, even though it's January still, because I'm doing all the things I want to do, making routines that are beneficial to me, even if I'm doing them just for a small time during the day, but doing them even for that small time makes me feel much better. I feel much more motivated to do them tomorrow and day after that, then making some goals that are maybe high that I want to achieve, but in the meantime you have to make baby steps. So yeah, don't pressure yourself and don't be like, oh, I have to do everything, because if I don't do everything then you feel very bad. I think that's very important. The next is something that actually my sister and I talked when she was here, and something that she pointed out to me that I didn't even notice, and that's speaking bad to myself. I think that's super important. And I think even when you're not even serious, but when you do something and I'm like, oh, I'm so stupid, or I'm so fat, oh my god, look how I look and stuff like that. I don't even think that, but it's what you say. But how they say, even lie, if you repeat it enough times it becomes a truth. And don't say to yourself things you wouldn't want to say to somebody else. If you don't, for example, I would never ever tell somebody else you're fat, you're too skinny, you are stupid, or whatever. Why would I then say that to myself? I am supposed to take care of myself, and even if you feel like that's not maybe the smartest of you, say, okay, I could have done this smarter, I could have maybe said this, or I could have done this. Pay attention how you speak to yourself. That's something I definitely want to do in 2022 and leave it in 2021, because we don't even think sometimes we say those things, but they can have a really good, very big impact on how we see ourselves, on our confidence, on so many things. It's basically whole science behind it. So that's something I definitely want to work on, and really pay close attention to my relationship with myself and how I speak to myself, because if I don't, nobody will. And if I constantly say myself, or I'm this and that, then how I'm supposed to feel better, or how am I supposed to feel good? So those are small things that you can detect whenever you're maybe saying that, to just stop them and don't even use those words, and try to maybe say how you feel in some other more positive light, in the light that you maybe gonna find an answer. Like I said, like maybe instead of saying, oh, how I was so stupid, or I'm stupid, or I'm this, say, okay, I should have done that. You know, it would be maybe better if I did this, if I saw that, or, you know, whatever the case is, instead of having that negative context on yourself. Next thing is also super important, and that's not taking care of myself. I mean, mentally, physically, in every possible way. I think it's super important to set time during day, week, however you want it, to just take care of yourself. Of course, that's very individual. Everybody loves different things, but I think it's super important to even write down and have that like in your schedule, time that it can be like 10-15 minutes a day, or a weekly, or some weekly schedule, whatever, that you know you're gonna take care of yourself. It can be little things, big things, for the time that you're just gonna spend on yourself and your thoughts. For me, it's having more time to go for walks, visiting museums alone. I mean, that's something that I love to do. But of course, maybe you love to paint, you know, for example, or listen to music, or go for workouts and, I don't know, jogging, or whatever the case is. Like, take time, make sure you take that time either daily or weekly, depending on, of course, your schedule, that you have something that you love to do, something that makes you feel good. And it can usually be multiple things, you know. For example, I love to have one day, like a week, when usually when I finish cleaning my house, I put hair mask on, I have a good shower, I just take care of myself, I do my skincare, I completely take care of myself. It's like a little wellness at home moment. I read a book. It's just my time with myself, not talking to other people, taking care of myself. Even though when you think about it, it's nothing extravagant, nothing extra. I just take care of my hair, do my skincare, you know, put lotions on my body, read a good book. But that's something I think that's very beneficial and important for me. It really has a big positive impact on my mental health, how I feel, and having that time of the week just for myself. I can do things that make me feel good, going for a walks, like I said, also working on routines that are beneficial to me. I want to like constantly work and be persistent and making those realistic plans where, okay, I'm gonna, you know, do yoga for 15 minutes, I'm gonna go for a walk, I want to do this, and do all those routines that first of all instantly make me feel better and something that I love to do, something that's beneficial, but also long term are routines that are gonna be good for me, something that's gonna help me achieve certain goals that I want in life. So I think it's very important to think, what are the things that make you feel good, things that you love to do. And of course, everybody has their own, and I think it's very important to think what are those things, and always try to find, if not every day, then at least have some time during week when you're gonna have time for yourself. You don't have even to leave the house. Like I said, like if you're just gonna take care, like put some hair mask, do skincare, read a book, listen to the music, or go for a walks, paint, do whatever you want to do. I think it's very important. Next is kind of connected with this one, and it's one of the routines I started implementing this year, and I already noticed big changes, honestly. Actually, last year I noticed I had a lot of anxiety before going to bed. It's something that I used to have before as well, but definitely it triggered when I moved to US, because it was quite a big like life change. I just suffered a lot of anxiety, which resulted in my sleep pattern, and sleep pattern is so important from your mental to physical health and beauty and everything. And I would have a lot of anxiety before I go to sleep. I would struggle quite a lot to go to sleep, and I would think about every possible mistake or situation. I would just overthink every possible thing in my head, and everything that made me feel embarrassed from 2004 so far, so on basically. And of course that resulted in me not really sleeping good, and not having a lot of energy then in the morning, and etc, etc, etc. I decided to do one quite simple little thing that actually really helped me with my morning and evening routine, and that's to shut off my phone. I mean, I just leave it, I don't touch it for at least half an hour before I go to bed to sleep, and first half an hour when I wake up. Honestly, that's something that I would definitely suggest doing at least like 5-6 days a week, something that completely changed, first of all, my sleeping routine. And it's something that also, it's like 2 in 1, because one of my like resolutions was definitely to read more, and I decided each day I'm gonna read for at least like 50-20 minutes, usually it's more. And when my sister was here, we basically almost every night we would read, even it's for like 50-20 minutes, it doesn't matter. It had such a big impact. I already could have seen after a couple of days my brain gets tired much healthier from the reading. I would just go into sleep so easily with no struggle at all. Of course, I'm not saying if you read a book before you go to sleep, you won't have your anxiety. Of course not. I'm just saying what worked for me, and maybe it's gonna work for you, or you can adapt some things to your own personal situation. I'm just saying that not scrolling endlessly on Instagram or social media definitely helped me to kind of clear my mind. I would read, I would so easily fall asleep. I wouldn't have any anxiety. I would sleep much better, honestly. And usually anyways, I would put my phone like on not disturbed mode. In that way, you're not gonna hear the messages and everything. Only if somebody is like urgent, if somebody calls you 2 times in a row, then you're gonna hear the ring. Just leave my phone on the desk or somewhere, you know, not really close to me. I would grab a book, or also in the morning, I don't usually I would take my phone and I would just crawl for and lay in bed for at least half an hour before I even wake up and get out of the bed, I mean, to go to the bathroom. And that would be like the first thing that I do. And for me, honestly, that's like wasted half an hour. I started to get up immediately, don't touch my phone at all. I would get some water, I would do a little bit of yoga, or I would drink my coffee, make my like to-do list, and instantly I feel much more productive, which makes me feel so much more better and motivated to do different things. Just if I had that even half an hour that would I spend scrolling on my phone. So it's not like even that you're sleeping, so it's not like I'm waking up more early, I'm just not spending that time on my phone. So that I'm gonna either sleep more, or if I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna get up and do things that are actually beneficial to me. So that's something I definitely am working on, and hopefully I'm gonna continue doing through 2022. One more thing that I wanted to mention, which is kind of similar to the first one, and that's feeling disappointed in certain things and then don't wanna moving forward and work on with certain things that maybe you wanted to do, or you made your like goals or resolutions and then things are not going as they maybe you suppose them to go, and then you kind of want to give up and everything. So generally giving up, I want to leave back in 2021, and I'm going to give you example of that in my personal case, and that's YouTube. Like for me, this is a hobby, this is something I honestly wanted to do since when I discovered YouTube. It's something that I always wanted to try, not because I am gonna make millions from this platform. I mean, I wish, but you know, it's just something that I really always wanted to do. I always felt super embarrassed while I was living in Serbia, like what will my friends say or people around me, etc, etc. And then I moved here, and after actually 2 years of living here, I finally, almost 2, not 2, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. You know, there's only one life, and I'm so proud of myself. And I think everybody who ever did anything, doesn't have to be, I mean, I started my YouTube channel, I didn't finish Harvard Law School or became a doctor, or I'm saving people, you know, somewhere or something like that. But it doesn't matter if you had some like a goal or wish in your life that you wanted to do and you achieved it. That's something that you're always going to be proud of. And I noticed like in the middle of last year, I started to feeling very discouraged regarding my YouTube, because I was like, oh my god, I'm spending all this time filming, prepping, editing and all of that, and only people who are watching are mom and my friends, and that's it. My sister or my husband when I make him watch it, and that's it. And I think because we have that pressure and we always hear the stories about super successful, happy end, everything happened not even like over the night. You know that things don't happen over the night, but you never hear about the struggle. You never hear about people who want to give up or giving up 2, 3, 5, 10 times. You know, you always hear about end results and end achievements, and then you kind of expect it's gonna happen to you. And I think it's about the journey, you know, it's not about final destination. I'm just like, I don't want to give up doing something that I love to do, that's my hobby, just because I feel like I'm not somewhere where I'm supposed to be. Like, if I don't continue doing this, if I don't work on this, I will never be there, you know. And I think that's very important, and don't let like expectations or not achieving certain level when you maybe wanted to give up on your dreams or wishes or goals or hobbies or whatever that makes you feel good. Like, don't give up. I think that's very, very important, because if I don't, like I said, work on this and continue filming and try my best, then, you know, I will never maybe have that very successful YouTube channel, you know. So I think that's something that's very important to work on, because it's very easy to work hard and be motivated when you have good results. But of course, it's much, much, much harder to continue pushing if those results are not there. But that doesn't mean you have to give up or you should give up. And I think especially things that make you feel good or something that's your goal, of course everybody's situation is different. So I think that's something that I want to leave in past year and be like, okay, I'm doing this for myself, for my followers, everybody who loves to watch my videos, and as long as I enjoy doing that, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna try harder and harder and see, well, that will lead me, you know. And maybe it will never get to a certain level, but I know I'm gonna learn through the way, and that journey, that I can be persistent, that I'm not gonna give up just because I don't feel like things are where they're supposed to be. I'm gonna work harder than that, and I'm gonna, even if I don't achieve that goal, I think I'm gonna achieve that discipline and working hard and believing in yourself, which is much more important than maybe even achieving the goal in itself. So yeah, that's the thing I wanted to mention as well. Those are kind of things I really want to leave in 2021 and things I want to change in this year. Like I said, these are all also very important topics for me personally. So I wanted to use this opportunity because it's like beginning of the year. I felt it's very convenient to talk about this and have this conversation with you guys, so you can get to know me a little bit better. And I would really, really, really love to know what are your opinions, what are your like 2022 goals and things that you maybe want to change, like I said, that you want to leave in past year, and that way we can get to know each other. I would really love that. If you stayed this long, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That would really mean a lot to me. Leave me a comment down below. Like I said, I would really love to know what are your like goals, resolutions for 2022, what you want to leave in past year and all of that. And thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!